Story: Why the heron has a crooked neck. The flames leapt gaily upward in the wide fireplace, throwing strange shadows on the painted walls and gleaming on the polished wood of floor and beam and cupboard. Little Jan basked contentedly in the warmth, almost dozing, now absently stroking the terrier curled up beside him, now running his fingers through the softer fur of the rug on which he lay. It was made of silver jackal skins, a dozen of them, to judge from the 6 bushy tails spread out on either side, and as Outa Carol's gaze rested on them, he remarked reminiscently, "Arre." But Jackal's was a slim curl. No one ever got the better of him without paying for it. In an instant little Jan was sitting bolt upright, every symptom of sleep banished from his face. The book from which Willem had been laboriously trying to gain some idea of the physical features of Russia was flung to the far end of the rust bank, while Petai, suspending for a brief moment his whittling of a catapult stick, slid along the floor to get within better sight and sound of the storyteller. Yes, my little masters, sometimes it was Liu he cheated, sometimes it was Ubas Babian or Wolf, and once it was the poor little dove, and that is what made me think of how he was cheated himself. Did the little dove cheat him? Asked Petai eagerly. No, Basha, the dove is too frightened. Not stupid, Basha, but like people are when they are too gentle and kind and believe everything other people tell them. She was sitting on her nest one day singing to her little children, coo-oo, 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 when Jackhals prowled along under the tree and heard her. Allah world. Now I'll have a nice breakfast, he thought, and he called out, "Good morning, Taunt. I hear you have such pretty little children. Please bring them down for me to see." But the Taunt was frightened of Jackhals, and said, "I'm sorry, they are not well today, and I must keep them at home." Then Jackhals lost his temper, and called out, "Nonsense, I'm hungry and want something to eat, so throw down one of your little children at once." Bajis know, sometimes crossness drives away frightenedness, and Taunt was so cross with Jackhals for wanting to eat one of her little children that she called out, "No, no, you bad Jackhals, I shall do nothing of the sort. Go away and look for other food. If you don't, I'll fly up and eat them all," said Jackhals. "Throw one down at once." And he stamped about and made such a horrible noise that the poor Taunt thought he was really flying up. She looked at her babies. There wasn't one she wanted to give, but it was better to lose one than have them all eaten, so she shut her eyes and fluttered about the nest till one of them fell out, and Jackhals caught it in his mouth and carried it off to his hole to eat. Ack! But the poor Taunt was sad. She spread her wings over her other children and never slept all night, but looked about this way and that way with her soft eyes, thinking every little noise she heard was Jackhals trying to fly up to her nest to gobble up all her babies. The next morning there was Jackhals again. "Taunt, your child was a nice, juicy mouthful. Throw me down another. And make haste, do you hear? Or I'll fly up and eat you all." "Coo-oo, coo-oo, coo-oo," said Taunt, crying, "No, I won't give you one." But it was no use, and in the end she did what she had done before, just shut her eyes and fluttered round and round till a baby fell out of the nest. She thought there was no help for it, and, like some people are, she thought what the eye didn't see the heart wouldn't feel. But her heart was very sore, and she cried more sadly than ever, and this time she said, "Ooh ooh, ooh ooh, ooh ooh." It was very sad and sorrowful to listen to ooh ooh, ooh ooh, ooh ooh. Here came old Rayher. He is a kind old bird, though he holds his neck so crooked and looks like there was nothing to smile at in the whole wide world. Ack! Why do you cry so sadly, Taunt? It nearly gives me a stitch in my side. Ooh! I'm very miserable. Jackhals has eaten 2 of my little children, and tomorrow he will come for another, and soon I shall have none left. But why did you let him eat them? Because he said if I didn't give him one, he would fly up and eat them all. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Then Rayher was very angry. He flapped his wings, and stretched out his long neck. So, my Bajes, just so. The children hugged themselves in silent delight at Outa's fine acting, and he opened and shut his long beak to show how he would like to peck out Jackhals's wicked eyes if he could only catch him. That vervlochte Jackhals, he said. To tell such lies. But, Taunt, you are stupid. Don't you know Jackhals can't fly? Now listen to me. When he comes again, tell him you know he can't fly, and that you won't give him any more of your children. The next day there came Jackhals again with his old story, but Taunt just laughed at him. Ack, no. You storytelling bushytail, she said, I won't give you any more of my little children, and you needn't say you'll fly up and eat them, because I know you can't. Near rr, said Jackhals, growling, how do you know that? Rayher told me, so there, said Taunt. And you can just go to your mother. My! But Taunt was getting brave now that she knew she and her little children were safe. That was the worst insult you can ever give a grown-up Jackhals, and Jackhals growled more than ever. Never mind, he said at last. Taunt is only a Vrauman's. I won't bother with her any more. But wait till I catch Rayher. He'll be sorry he poked his long nose into my business, the old meddler, and he trotted off to look for him. He hunted, and at last he found him standing on one leg at the side of the river, with his long neck drawn in and his head resting on his shoulders. Good day, Rayher, he said politely. How is today? I'm all right, answered Rayher shortly, without moving an inch. Jackhals spoke in a little small voice, ach. Tosh so humble. Please come this way a little. I'm so stupid, but you are so wise and clever, and I want to ask your advice about something. Rayher began to listen. It is more so when people hear about themselves. He put down his other leg, stretched out his neck, an axe over his shoulder. What did you say, eh? Come Tosh this way a little. The mud over there is too soft for me to stand on. I want your valuable advice about the wind. The other people all say I must ask you, because no one is as wise as you. Truly Jackhals was a slim curl. He knew how to stroke Rayher's feathers the right way. Rayher came slowly over the mud. A person mustn't show he is too pleased. He even stopped to swallow a little frog on the way, and then he said, careless-like, yes, I can tell you all about the wind and weather. Ask what you like, Jackhals. His long neck twisted about with pride. When the wind is from the west, how must one hold one's head? Is that all? Said Rayher. Just so, and he turned his head to the east. Thank you, And when the wind is from the east? So, Rayher bent his neck the other way. Thank you, said the little small voice, so grateful and humble. But when there is a storm and the rain beats down, how then? So, said Rayher, and he bent his neck down till his head nearly touched his toes. "My little masters," just as quickly as a whip snake shoots into his hole, so Jack Halls shot out his arm and caught Rayher on the bend of his neck. Crack! And in a minute the poor old bird was rolling in the mud with his neck nearly broken, and so weak that he couldn't even lift his beak to peck at the false wicked eyes that were staring at him. Oh! How glad was cruel Jack Halls! He laughed till he couldn't any more. He screamed and danced with pleasure. He waved his bushy tail, and the silver mane on his back bristled as he jumped about. Ha! 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 Thought to do me a bad turn, but I'll teach people not to interfere with me. Ha! 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 No one is as wise as Rayher, eh? Then he will soon find out how to mend his broken neck. Ha! 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 Jack Halls gave one last spring right over poor Rayher, and danced off to his den in the coppice to tell Taunt Jack Halls and the little Jackalsjis how he had cheated Rayher. And from that day, Bajis, Rayher's neck is crooked, he can't hold it straight, and it's all through trying to interfere with Jack Halls. That is why I said Jack Halls is a slim curl. Whether he walks on 4 legs or on 2, the best is to leave him alone because he can always make a plan, and no one ever gets the better of him without paying for it in the end. Quote. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.